Hello friends, my name is Akil and welcome to my YouTube channel. In the previous video, we learned how to create components in Angular and what are different ways of using the component inside our application. In this lecture, we will learn what is data binding. So data binding in Angular basically means the communication between the component file and the template file. Now what is the template file? The template file is the HTML file of that component. Here in our case the header.component.html file is the template file of the header component. And the TypeScript file, which is the header.component.ts file, this is the component file. Now data binding is communication between the TypeScript file and the HTML file. Now if we want to get the value of the title variable, then we can use different types of data bindings to get that value. Now if we go to the terminal and start our application and ngserve -o, and we'll see whether it is working or not. So the value of the title variable is coming from the TypeScript file. And now there are different types of data binding. One is the one-way data binding, and the second is two-way data binding. Two-way data binding. In one-way data binding, the data comes from the data source, which is the variables declared inside the TypeScript file, and from there we get the value to the target. Like here we have this inside our HTML. Now in one-way data binding, we cannot change the value from here and reflect, and if we want to reflect it here, we cannot do that by one-way data binding. Like if we want to change it to Angular, then it is not possible by one-way data binding. And here comes two-way data binding. Two-way data binding means if we want to change the value from the TypeScript file and we want to reflect it back to the HTML file, then we can do that also. If we want to change the value from here, we can also change the value of the variables declared inside here. And so to demonstrate that, we will use the input element, and inside this we will have to use some like the data binding rules, and inside here we will use ngModel, which is one type of data binding. We will be discussing all these in our upcoming videos. Now if we want to change the value like the React, and then we will use the title here inside this ngModel. And now if we change any value here, our data will be reflected back to the title variable. So we'll have to import it from the forms module. We will be discussing all these things in our upcoming videos. So now if we go to our browser, and now you can see this the value of the title is coming from the TypeScript file, and if we change it here, we can specify any, like if we say write Angular, then you can see that this is also reflected here inside our HTML file, and that was not possible using one-way data binding. We will be discussing all these things and all other types of data binding in our upcoming videos one by one. So yeah, That's it for this video. In the next video, we will be covering all the types of data binding one by one. So stay tuned for more programming lectures.